Alright, so welcome back to this episode of this whole series on the calling, the life, and the word. I hope you enjoyed last episode where we talked about calling, what calling is, and we cleared some misconceptions where we said calling is not necessarily being into ministry or your career, and it's bigger than that. Where we quoted from Tim Keller, a very popular theologian. We also established the fact that calling is what will bring you fulfillment and what will bring you joy. And we also clarified another fact that calling is something that God has assigned you to. So from the last episode, we also looked at the two types of callings, the general call of God and the specific call of God. So today, we'll look at one Bible personality and analyze his life and how that relates to our topic, the calling. I am Edmond. If you're new on this channel, make sure that you subscribe, share, like, and comment. Let's talk about Joseph. So now I've titled this Being Called to Leadership and Governance. So clearly, we've established a fact that not everyone has been called to be an apostle, a teacher, an evangelist, and an elder or something. But Joseph clearly here has been called to leadership. Yes, leadership in the secular sense, and also governance. And if you are very familiar with the life of Joseph, you can see how God transitioned him from every single stage until he attained this pedigree of a leader in another man's land. That's very interesting. Ask yourself, how many of us, or how rare is that to be a prime minister on a different country that you are not from? This really takes God's intervention. So let's take some few highlights from there. So we look at Joseph's early struggles, where he had a dream, shared a dream with his parents and also with his brothers, sincerely and genuinely, and that got him into so many troubles, as you know of the life of Joseph. So we realize that, number one, sometimes God can reveal your calling to you through dreams. So you can be given a prophetic calling through dreams. So if you're somebody who don't dream, it will be great if you pray to God to grant you that grace of dreaming, because it can be God's way of also showing you your calling as well. And if you're somebody who also dreams but forget anytime he or she wakes up, then I think you should also be working on that or praying to God to help you recall them, because dreams can be God's way of revealing to you your prophetic calling or your assignment on earth. So that's the first highlight, that even Joseph, as small as he was, got a dream, shared it with the parents and the brothers, and that's what unfolded in all his struggles. And also the second point is that in your pursuit, in your work, or in your diligence in working in your calling, hardship will come. Sometimes by your own doing, sometimes you have no idea about. But the thing is that if you are faithful in this hardship, if you are faithful in every single season, this faithfulness adds up into the manifestation of your calling or your assignment. You can see Joseph here being faithful at every single sector or area of his life, and that unfolded into that bright future that Joseph had. Also, we are saying that God's timing is really the best, in the sense that whatever happened to Joseph, every point in time accumulated into becoming who he was. Okay, so sometimes waiting for God's timing is best. However, as you wait for God's timing, make sure that you are remaining faithful in every season that you find yourself. Also, we are saying that your calling may take time to manifest. Your calling may take time to manifest. So don't think that if you discover your assignment today, then tomorrow you are working in it. It will take some time for it to manifest. But just you have to be faithful in every single thing that they hand over to you, even in this period. Let's look at Joseph. Even in the prison, he was put in charge of his inmates or the other colleagues that were with him. And he was faithful. He did his work diligently. They moved him to Potiphar's house. Even there, he ensured everything was done diligently. And because of him, the Lord prospered the house of Potiphar. Now, that wasn't even his calling or his assignment. But because he was faithful in the little things, God was confident in giving to him the bigger things, which was being a prime minister. Also, know that even in our calling, it's a time of demonstrating faith and also demonstrating influence. So everywhere you find yourself, as you prepare to work in your calling, demonstrate faith in the calling that you've received, demonstrate influence in that calling that you received. Right? So if you look at Genesis chapter 41, verse 39 to 41. I'll read it shortly, then we move on. Genesis chapter 41, verse 39 to 41. It says that, then Pharaoh said to Joseph, since God has shown you all this, there is none so discerning and so wise as you are. You should be over my house, and all my people shall order themselves as you command. Only as regards the throne will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, see, I've set you over all the land of Egypt. So that was the magnitude of the influence that Pharaoh handed over to Joseph. And that was their assignment. That was the calling. But God needed to prepare Joseph for over 10 years to work in that calling. Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. Look at that one too as well. It says that, as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people shall be kept alive as they are today. So my point here is that this part really interests me, because sometimes the real reason why you are going through all that you are going through is so that you bring deliverance to other people, not even yourself. So in fulfilling your calling or your assignment, mostly it's about impacting others, not even yourself. Because the people or his brothers, in trading him for worldly stuff, in selling him as a slave to Egypt, as he said, they meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. And look at the good that God meant it for, to bring about that many people should be kept alive. So because of Joseph, many people were kept alive, even some Egyptians and some Israelites. So Joseph being at that pinnacle in his calling was so that many others will be kept alive. So bear in mind that if you get laid hold of your calling, you get to know your assignment that you've been brought on earth to do. The goal is that others will be impacted, others will be kept alive, and others will be blessed. Hope this short episode about Joseph has blessed you a lot. So if your call is under leadership or governance, know that God has a mighty plan for you to keep and preserve a generation. Make sure that you are faithful in every little thing that God has placed in your care, because through you, many will be kept alive. Hope you like this episode. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you next time.